Hello, excuse me. Hello, everyone. This is Crota giving you a shoutcast between MVP's Violet versus Believe here on Amazonia. We have Believe spawning as the pink Undead player here on the north top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, we have Violet as the Violet Orc player on the bottom left hand side of the map. Now, Undead versus Orc, a lot of the matchups, a lot of you guys have been asking for Undead players, and a lot of you guys have been looking for a little bit of an explanation for WarCraft 3. WarCraft 3, I believe it was actually classified as a real-time role-playing strategy game where you have a hero and your hero leads an army, and as your hero kills multiple units, as your army kills multiple units, your hero actually levels up and becomes stronger. Now, instead of minerals, you actually have gold. And you can only send a certain number of units at a time into a gold mine. Think of it as a refinery. Think that it's kind of reversed, where all the trees are actually minerals and there's minerals all over the place and you can mine back and forth. And then the gold mine itself is actually the gas, and you can only go back and forth one at a time. Or this, you haunt it, and these little acolytes are trying to just like haunt gold out of the gold mine. Meanwhile, you see this typical peasants walking back and forth carrying bags of gold. So that is the economy. You have gold and you have wood or lumber in terms of the game. Here we have the heroes now coming into play, a Blade Master against most likely a Death Knight, and based upon the buildings, you can see a Crypt now training up ghouls against a Barracks now training up grunts. Ghouls are essentially, think of them as weaker zealots, and grunts are essentially zealots. So a grunt will always win in a one-on-one fight. Think of a ghoul as, I guess, kind of like a Zergling, and then a grunt kind of like a zealot. Enough ghouls can take down a grunt, but the grunt is naturally a little bit stronger. Blade Master now making his way over to the item goblin shop, selling his Scroll of Town portal, and now going to pick up 2 items for himself, a Circlet of Nobility and a Dust of Appearance. The reason why he sold the Scroll of Town portal is it gives him 175 gold. And 175 gold is a decent amount of gold, especially at this stage in the game. And then buying the Circlet of Nobility and Dust of Appearance allows that Blade Master to attack harder and have more mana for Windwalk, which helps out a lot. The more Circlet of Nobilities he gets, the stronger it gets, as he is going to get more Circlets of Nobilities. He also has an ability that says a percentage of the time he will deal double or even triple damage, and those are what we call critical strikes on that Blade Master. It looks like this peon will get taken down by that ghoul. The ghoul just chasing after it and able to take it down with relative ease. Now back here, you currently see a ghoul just mining away back and forth. The Death Knight should already be out, and yeah, the Death Knight is currently here, already has a couple experience. You can see that the skeletal minions that were created from the skeletons nearby are now chasing after that grunt. The grunt is dangerously low on hit points. The Death Coil should be able to take it down, and oh, down it goes. The Death Knight now getting very, very close to level 2, and since he was able to take down an early grunt, has a significant lead. Now about 2/3 of the way to level 2. At level 2, he will try to pick up Unholy Aura. Meanwhile, the Blade Master, it looks like he sold his Dust of Appearance. He wanted to make sure he had dust just in case it was burrowing Crypt Fiends. It is not Crypt Fiends, it is ghouls, so now he just buys some healing salves and will just try to heal up his army, or heal up his Blade Master, and just continue to creep, now looking for a higher level on that Blade Master and perhaps some better weapons. The Death Knight, on the other hand, getting some boots of speed of his own, and now also has Dust of Appearance. The ghouls over here creeping out this 5-3 creep camp, which should give the Death Knight level 2. Yes, now currently sitting at level 2, also has Unholy Aura. So the Unholy Aura will allow that Death Knight to be able to regenerate hit points across multiple units. It increases the regeneration rate on undead units, even if they are off of Blight. Think of Blight like as Zerg creep, but you do not get a movement speed bonus. All you get is a natural, very fast regeneration bonus. So you can see how fast those undead units are currently regenerating on that Blight. And Death Knight now on the move will be able to chase down some of those units. And now the Blade Master is already in place. So the Blade Master now going back and forth. A Death Coil healing up one of those ghouls, but another ghoul going to get taken down off of a Windwalk strike. The Windwalk strike allowing that Blade Master to pass through units, and also when breaking Windwalk and attacking, dealing a little bit of bonus damage with that. Oh, very nice Dust of Appearance now being used, and that Death Knight doing a good job putting himself in harm's way in order to save his ghouls. But one ghoul now taking another Windwalk strike there. It may get taken down, already down to 73 hit points, and down it goes. And now that Blade Master is deciding to back off. So 2 ghouls lost in that engagement there. More ghouls are slowly being added as we are now going into a graveyard, perhaps for some Crypt Fiends. We are now getting some creeping down over here. The Tunneler will get taken down. Level 2 on that Blade Master, taking down the other Tunneler, and then eventually needs to take down that the Taskmaster, who I believe has the Bash ability and also gives Endurance or a Command or enabling nearby units to take or deal a little bit more damage. Also, Sentry Wards being placed down. So Sentry Wards, think of them as stationary observers. They are invisible, and they do die after time, but they do reveal a good portion of the map, and they are detectors. The Death Knight now back over here looking for that Blade Master, looking to see if he can perhaps try to steal some of those creep camps. And now going to the Goblet Merchant Shop once again, doesn't see anything. As the ghouls are creeping over here, the Death Knight actually gains experience when ghouls and units of his army try to take down units, even if he isn't nearby, if he is the only hero in play. The Death Knight now perhaps going to go after some of those grunts. Now the grunt now down to 327 hit points, and now the Blade Master looking to come in and deal some damage. The Black Citadel already being upgraded. There is no Nerubian Tower though, so that Blade Master will be able to get a lot of damage in very, very easily. Now that ghoul hiding in the back of the base will be able to escape. One ghoul, however, now off of the Blight, will get taken down. Not going to be able to regenerate enough hit points, but a lot of damage is currently being dealt. One grunt now standing to protect against another grunt, so brotherly grunty love here, as another grunt now tries to come in. So two grunts better than one, and now two of the lower hit point grunts are trying to move away. Burrow's now joining in on that action, and now that Death Knight unable to just try to squeeze through, and now going after that lower hit point grunt, now taking a little bit more damage, and oh, there's that Hex. Hex now turning him into a squirrel. Going after that grunt, the grunt is now down to 128 hit points and being forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal, so really over-invested into trying to take down a couple grunts there. And now getting taken down. Blade Master now coming in, trying to get some damage. There's a Dust of Appearance, and now that one Blade Master is taking a fair amount of damage. The Death Knight now just wandering around that Tomb of Relics, and that Blade Master is in a little bit of trouble. The Blade Master still going after that Death Knight. The Death Knight does have a potion of healing, so will be able to heal back up very, very easily. Death Knight now on the move. He is fighting on Blight, so he is regenerating a lot of hit points in addition to that Unholy Aura, so you can see how fast that natural regeneration is. About I would say about 2 to 3 every second right now, which is a very, very large amount. Shadow Hunter now creeping in addition to that Blade Master. Level 3 Blade Master, level 1 Shadow Hunter. The Shadow Hunter trying to avoid any serious damage, has a boatload of items, and now I'm getting closer and closer to level 2. Back here we have the Lich now out. Death Knight now sitting at level 2. The Lich out in order to get level 1 Frost Armor. Frost Armor is very, very strong as it slows down that Blade Master and protects your heroes with an additional +5 armor. So the Death Knight now just continuing to try to heal up his units. One unit now taken down, and both sides battling it out here. The Blade Master getting very, very much slow. The Lich needs to get Frost Armor on himself as well. As they continue to battle out, the Blade Master is going to get surrounded and then uses a Dust of Appearance in order to break Windwalk, or in order to break the surround, and now going after the Sasquatch. Level 3 on the Death Knight, level 1 on the Lich. We should have level 2 on the Shadow Hunter. Yes, level 2 on the Shadow Hunter as he finishes it off. Tome of Agility +2 most likely will get picked up by that by the Blade Master, and now the Shadow Hunter coming in. The Tome of Agility still being left behind there, and the Blade Master still gonna pick it up, so he's gonna get a +2 attack and be able to deal even more damage. Also has a little bit more armor. The Shadow Hunter now dangerously low on hit points as well, but that Death Coil does not deal enough damage to take down that Grunt. Level 1 on that Lich. There is that Sentry Ward by Violet, so Violet's still able to keep track of where that Lich is, and now that Blade Master and that Death Knight both continuing to battle it out. The Death Knight does have Boots of Speed, does have the Unholy Aura, able to move much more quickly. That undead nightmare of a horse, able to move across the map very easily, and now getting another Frost Armor. We are getting into the Orb of Corruption, so the Orb of Corruption reduces the armor of the receiving unit by 5, and that does start to add up a lot. It doesn't stack, but the additional amount of damage of the -5 armor can actually go into negative armor, meaning that even a ghoul would only normally deal 5 to 10 damage. Or sorry, 10 to 12 damage. He's not going to actually deal that much. And now we also have statues joining in. So the Obsidian statue heals all of these units. And now the Blade Master is nearby. The Blade Master going to perhaps steal. Yes, he gets the kill. Steals the experience. And now both sides are continuing to battle out. We have a low hit point Crypt Fiend. And now Boots or a Scroll Speed now being used. And that low hit point Blade Master with -3 or now only 2.2 armor or 4.2 armor now continuing to battle out, and the Shadow Hunter will try to escape down to 85 hit points. desperately trying to escape, able to use that boot or that speed scroll, and now a very low hit point Crypt Fiend as well. Both sides continuing the battle. In comes a healing wave, and now a death coil, so that Shadow Hunter once again very low, may get taken down. Now you transferring the potion of invulnerability down to 44 hit points, and still desperately trying to run away, using another healing wave to stay alive. But a couple of those units have been taken down, and now getting in front of the Kodo, and the Kodo is now stuck. So the Kodo now stuck. It will get taken down with relative ease. Gonna eat up a ghoul to try to break free, but unable to do so. Low hit point ghoul now running away as the Death Knight continuing this very long, drawn-out battle and dealing a lot of damage right now. So the Death Knight leading the charge, a Lich very, very close behind, and now at both sides, perhaps they're going to try to regroup a little bit as the reinforcements from Violet will be coming in very, very quickly. And that's one of the things that we cannot deal with. But no, also getting a Dark Ranger instead. So a Dark Ranger, a hero quickly hired from the tavern, and that tavern hero going to deal perhaps a lot of damage with Drain Life and also Silence. Silence to stop the Shadow Hunter and that Blade Master. A Silence Blade Master is essentially just a very, very powerful knight. Not very useful at all. He doesn't have any auras to try to benefit the rest of the army. And he still has to get within melee range. One skeletal minion now making its way south over here, and things are now starting to look worse and worse for Violet. Violet is in a little bit of trouble. He does have a level 2, level 3 heroes compared to a level 2, level 3, and a level 1. But the longer this game goes, the better it is gonna be for Believe, as Believe is going to have stronger heroes and be able to take this and be able to win with just a pure hero levels eventually. Then now one Orc Burrow will get taken down very, very easily. Down it goes, and now, a Ghoul also getting taken down as well. Towers and defensive structures do not give experience, so this is not going to feed any experience into the hands of Violet right now as both sides continue to battle out. There is a Shadow Hunter here, and the Shadow Hunter purposely positioning, oh sorry, not the Shadow Hunter, the Lich purposely positioning himself in a way so that it's very, very difficult to get to, and now both sides continue to battle out as the Orc Burrows continue to take a lot of damage, and now the Lich now down to 500 hit points after a Death Coil and doing very well. Death Knight now battling back out once again, and both sides continue to just deal a lot of damage towards each other. The Blade Master going after some of those units, and down goes a Troll Berserker as well. So these three heroes sitting inside the base of their opponent. Robe of Magi, now Clarity Potion being used. Not quite sure how that really helps to even drop it. It's not instantaneous by any means. And now, a Grunt almost getting taken down. A Grunt here will get taken down. And level 4 now, level 2 and almost level 2 against a level 4 and a level 3. That Death Knight in such a dominant position right there. And another Death Coil keeping that Lich alive even longer. And now that Blade Master continuing to battle it out inside the base. And Silence was cast, but the Death Knight now down to 118 hit points, using the Potion of Greater Healing, able to survive and continue to stick into this fight, finally using the Scroll of Talent Portal. A very long battle here in Violet's base. Now, some of you may be wondering why exactly these players are not expanding at this time. Expansion in WarCraft 3 is not as important, or not nearly as important as it is in StarCraft 2. The reason being is, in order to establish an expansion, and you need to train more units, you need to train more acolytes in order to be able to mine those additional minerals. In a game like StarCraft 2, that doesn't really matter that much, as you have a very large food cap and there is no tax on your minerals. But in WarCraft 3, you can actually get taxed. The larger your army is, if your army is above 50 food, you actually lose 30% of every gold you mine. So that is why both of these players are still sitting in absolutely no upkeep at all. A Troll Berserker now trying to run away, and it looks like will be able to survive just because of some very, very nicely and timely healing wave. You can see the Crypt Fiend was trying to attack this one Troll Berserker down to 45 or 90 hit points out of 450. And perhaps it will just start to slowly regenerate once again. Shadow Hunter using some more Clarity Potions, trying to get more mana on that Shadow Hunter, enabling him to heal more and cast more Hex. The Obsidian statues now providing a lot of coverage and a lot of mana to the Death Knight, the Dark Ranger, and that Lich. That Lich having plenty of energy or mana for, having plenty of mana for Frost Armor, and we may even see a couple Frost Novas. There is a Tome of Knowledge being left behind, picked up by the Blade Master now, so we should be seeing a Dust of Appearance here in just a moment. There is an ability for the Undead player to train a Sacrificial Pit and then transform an Acolyte into a Shade. A Shade is essentially a ground-walking observer. Dust of Appearance now used. The Blade Master was able to escape the use of that Dust of Appearance and now will not be revealed. Death Knight sitting at 825 hit points, level 3, level 2 Lich, and now that Crypt Fiend desperately trying to run away from these creeps over here, and now perhaps going to try to pull the creeps and get some more damage onto those units. We have a Renegade Wizard as well, both sides taking damage, and now the Blade Master going to perhaps try to come back in and look to deal more damage, perhaps trying to steal more creeps. Lich wants to get to level 3 desperately, and oh, going after the Obsidian Statue. The Obsidian Statue now very low on hit points. It could transform, and now the Blade Master able to get that critical strike off, taking down one of the Obsidian Statues. Another statue may get taken down, and this is a perfect creep Jack here as the Blade Master using the beneficial, the creeps to his advantage as another Obsidian Statue now taken down. So both of the critical healing units have now been taken down. The Blade Master also has an Orb of Lightning, able to essentially purge and stun or semi-stun a ghoul, but now the army is in full retreat here. It looks like this Kodo trying to run away. Will it get surrounded? Yes, it is going to get surrounded. It tries to eat up a ghoul, not going to be able to do very much at all as both sides now battle it out. This Kodo Beast already down to 90 hit points. Down it goes. The Dark Ranger is going to get a Death Coil in time. No, not in time. The animation started but was not able to hit it, so Dark Ranger is now down. Level 3 versus a 4-3 as both sides are just trying to get as much damage as possible. The Blade Master going after ghouls. Ghouls are desperately trying to run away once more, and that ghoul is low on hit points. Down it goes off of 165 critical strike. And now a purge onto an untimely Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend may get saved. It is just going to get saved just a little bit longer. Now getting a burrow. So now being burrowed, that's going to help that Crypt Fiend regenerate hit points and not die. And now the Troll Berserkers are in full retreat once again as these ghouls continue to push their attack. Ghouls, and now a little bit of ensnaring happening by those raiders as well. One of those Troll Berserkers now taken down, and now the Blade Master going back in trying to take down more ghouls. Another ghoul will get taken down. So multiple ghouls now falling to the blade of that Blade Master. Blade Master getting +9 attack, but he is affected by that Orbital Corruption, so he will take a lot of damage over time. And the more those ghouls try to attack him, another Raider will get taken down. Raiders take additional damage from ghouls, and with that additional armor debuff, it's going to be very difficult for that Raider to stay alive, except for those healing waves. And now Obsidian Statue battling it out. Level 4 finally on that Death Knight. Shadowhunter desperately needs more mana, as well as the Blade Master is now leveling up as well. So Lich and the Death Knight, both heroes are very, very high, and now down goes another unit there. So another Kodo Beast now taking down ghouls and continuing to battle it out. The Lich could get a Frost Armor onto the Dark Knight, or the Death Knight. The Death Knight now trying to perhaps get some more damage onto some of those other units, trying to get a surround. They're going after the Shadowhunter. The Shadowhunter now pulling away. Another ghoul will get taken down, and both players are just exchanging armies at this stage. Level 4 on the Blade Master. I think we got level 4 on the Shadowhunter. Dark Ranger has been resurrected at level 2. Death Knight sitting at level 4. Lich now sitting at level 3 as both players try to regroup, reprieve, and then push out for another attack. If this battle goes on long enough, both bases or both players will need at least a try to establish an expansion. Expansions are fairly difficult in order to try to defend Violet. Now seeing that 39 over 50, and now Blade Master is trying to come in. There are 2 Crypt Fiends, a lot of ghouls, and now doing a little bit more creeping. The Blade Master just hanging off in the distance. Food-wise, we see Believe at 49 over 60, so Believe definitely having the advantage there. And now Dust of Appearance has been used, and now that Blade Master was unable to get any experience or steal any kills there, as that one Dark Ranger now tries to make its way out and try to get more damage, and now it looks like it is going to be ensnare onto a ghoul. Ghoul now taken down. Both sides continuing to battle it. One Raider now down to 112 hit points, and a Frost Nova as well, in addition to a Silence. So Silence unable to cast a healing wave, and this may be the end for Violet. Now Violet is in a little bit of trouble, but both sides, it really depends on who's able to get that critical hero damage. And the Death Knight is in a very, very front position. It has potions of healing, has a lot of ways to keep up his units alive, but the Blade Master also continuing to deal a lot of damage. Both sides battling it out as the Lich over here unable to keep track of that Blade Master, and now another Crypt Fiend maybe try to get saved. Oh no, now burrowed, so nicely saved once again. There is one low hit point Obsidian statue, no destroyers yet. So those statues are not morphing into a higher unit and trying to deal more damage, as there's not that many heavy armored units except for those grunts right now. Another ghoul taken down. So it's going to be 3 heroes, an Obsidian statue which desperately trying to run away, and a Crypt Fiend and 2 Crypt Fiends and a ghoul against 2 berserkers, a Kodo Beast, 2 grunts, and 2 heroes as well. Shadow Hunter once again battling it out. There is still this Kodo Beast who is digesting one of those ghouls very, very slowly. Crypt Fiend now once again burrowing again, and now losing another Crypt Fiend. So Believe now in trouble. Believe's army is slowly getting destroyed. Lich now being saved once more, and now needs to just stay alive even longer, and now getting Hex. Will the Death Knight be able to get a Death Coil off and save it? It looks like yes, he will. Only a level 4 or only a 400 hit point heal there, as those units are still battling it out. The Lich now desperately only has a potion of lesser invulnerability to try to stay alive, as that Death Knight does not have enough mana for another Death Coil anytime soon. And now that Blade Master was almost stuck there as the grunts continue to battle out. Another Crypt Fiend now burrowing itself. The Dark Ranger dangerously low on, or not dangerously close to level 3 as well, and now getting another surround on a grunt. These are just really, really long battles going back and forth. The Death Knight unable to heal that one Lich just quite yet. There is a potion of lesser invulnerability, perhaps needs to get some Frost Novas. That Hex now down to 143 hit points. Will he be able to survive? Down to 120. Needs to use that potion of lesser invulnerability in order to survive. There he goes, now uses it, and now trying to pull back. The Death Knight should be able to Death Coil and save that Lich, and that Lich will be able to live and fight another day. The Blade Master now looking to buy some additional items. The Blade Master running away. Death Knight does have a Dust of Appearance now going after, and oh, the Lich is in trouble. Very, very much in trouble. Down to 50 hit points. It looks like it will get taken down. Is it going to be? No, yeah, it is going to get taken down, and now the Death Knight still doesn't have enough mana, trying to go after this one Blade Master here. The Blade Master sitting at level 5, able to regroup. The gold mines have pretty much all been mined out at this stage in the game. We are perhaps going to get a resurrection on the Lich in the center of the field, and it was very important that that Lich was only at level 3, not level 4. You can see, and the higher the level, the more money, and the more money it takes in order to try to resurrect a hero at the tavern. It is an instantaneous resurrection though, as that Lich is now sitting at level 4, and Acolytes are now joining, and perhaps to try to haunt this gold mine here. You can see the Blade Master sitting at level 5, the Shadow Hunter sitting at level 4, and still no signs of trying to establish an expansion just quite yet. Violet now down to 240 gold, and that is it. An army of Acolytes and Ghouls staying close by. Dark Ranger at level 2. Essence of Mana now being used in order to heal up the Lich, or try to get more mana onto the Lich, more mana onto that Death Knight, and more mana onto that Dark Ranger. So the more mana that Death Knight has, the more Death Coils and the longer those battles are going to be. Back here, Blade Master taking down the Renegade Wizard. Perhaps he's going to get another nice item there. Rings of Protection +2, not that useful. Most likely will be sold. I think he was hoping for perhaps a Claws of Attack +6. That Blade Master is not all decked out in items, only a +9 bonus at this stage. You can see the gold mine about halfway completed, and the Blade Master going to be able to just have his way with a bunch of lowly Acolytes in just a second. So no, not trying to reveal himself there, as the Obsidian statue continuing to just give more and more mana towards the Death Knight and that one Lich. Now the Lich almost, no, not even close to maximum, has the potential for a lot of mana, perhaps should be transferred over to the Death Knight, but this does give a +11 attack. The Robo Magi, because the hero is the primary intelligence hero, gets plus attacks as well. Blade Master now trying to regroup himself, trying to recompose, and all Believe really wants to do is set up this expansion. If he's able to set up this expansion and properly defend it, he knows that he can win the game just because he has a stronger economy going. There is now a Ziggurat currently being I guess constructing, or I guess being summoned into play here, so that can turn into a Nerubian tower and then act as defense. The Ziggurats are essentially the farms of the farms of the undead, but their farms can be upgraded in order to act as a tower as well. The Blade Master still wandering around, and now the Lich and the Ghouls are trying to fight back. And the one Kodo Beast, and now what is the battle going to be? The Shadow Hunter very low on hit points. Both sides battling it out. One Grunt now, or Ghoul now taken down. Both sides need to fight. Both sides desperately want to win this. And are we still on Essence of Mana? I think we still are on Essence of Mana instead of Heal, so that may be an issue, not being able to keep this army alive, this undead army alive. And now level 3 on the Dark Ranger. We should be getting the Silence in just a moment. A Silence, oh no, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability now being used, so that Blade Master able to battle out, continue to push once more, and you can see how much damage that Blade Master is doing. And now Peons joining in on that fight, and that Blade Master very low on hit points, currently sitting at only 17. He is revealed, so he can be destroyed. And now that Blade Master going after those additional units over here. So level 4 on the Death Knight, and those Peons still back over here, still continuing to try to chase, as the Grunts are now, and the Blade Master still low on hit points. And now level 5 on the Shadow Hunter, level 3 Hex or level 3 Healing Wave, both are going to be very, very powerful, as the Crypt Fiends are now taking a lot of damage. The Peons joining in on the fight, and now the Shadow Hunter at level 5 gets taken down after a Hex. The Death Knight now sitting at level 4, and the Dark Ranger also taken down as well. So 2 heroes now down, so it's 2 heroes versus 1 as these units are continuing to battle it out here. The Lich now sitting at level 4, needs to use a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, does not have enough for a Frost Armor, but was able to finish off the Blade Master, and it was a battle of the heroes until the very end. So Believe taking this game here on Amazonia. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Believe and Violet here on Amazonia.